The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 has just been revealed, and if you want to know all the ins and outs, well, you came to the right place. I'll be comparing the Galaxy Z Fold 4 versus the Fold 3 specs, displays, cameras, and even the colors, and see how they stack up. So even if you haven't had a foldable phone since a hand-me-down Motorola Razr, or if you're someone who already loves the Z Fold 3 and are wondering if it's worth jumping up to the 4, well, I've got you covered. Well, let's get this out of the way first. These phones ain't cheap. The Galaxy Z Fold series is the most premium and expensive foldable in the Galaxy family, starting at $1799 US, where the Fold 4 is actually starting at the same price as last year's Fold 3. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on the Fold 4 just yet, but you can be sure we'll have a more in-depth impressions in the coming days. So be sure to stay tuned and subscribe for the latest. With that being said, let's jump in. The Galaxy Fold 3 comes in two storage options, either 256 or 512 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes of RAM. While the Fold 4 also comes with 256, 512 gigabytes, and the newly added 1 terabyte option, all with 12 gigabytes of RAM. The processor in the Fold 3 is the Snapdragon 888, while the Fold 4 runs on the newer Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip. The Fold 4 is also the first phone to ship with Android 12L, the version of Android OS specifically made for large screen devices like foldables. Samsung also promises it will support Z Fold 4 with major updates for the next 4 years and security updates for the next 5, so even if you are dropping a pretty penny on this device, it sure will last for the long run. The Z Fold 3 isn't guaranteed to get as many updates as the newer phone over its lifespan, but it is being sold at $1699 US if you want to save an extra $100 on the Fold 3. Like most new Galaxy phones, the inside and outside have 120Hz refresh rate, which is great if you're a fan of games like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds like I am. The Fold 3's main screen is a 7.6-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 2208 by 1768. The Fold 4's main screen is 3mm wider than the older phone with a resolution of 2176 by 1812. It also gets a bit brighter than the Z Fold 3 and has a wider aspect ratio as well. And when closed, the Fold 3's cover screen measures at 6.2 inches. The Fold 4's cover screen is the same physical size, but has a wider aspect ratio compared to the Fold 3. The Fold 4 is slightly lighter than last year's phone, weighing in at 263 grams compared to 271 grams. Both phones also feature Flex Mode, where compatible apps will shift videos from one half of the screen and controls to the other, similar to a fully touchable Nintendo DS. The Z Fold 4 also features a new taskbar located at the bottom of the screen, allowing you to drag and drop up to 3 apps at the same time. The Fold 4 also features new swipe gestures that Samsung says will make multitasking even easier than before. Both phones have the same water resistance, so you can dunk them in fresh water for up to 1.5 meters or about 5 feet for 30 minutes. We tested resistance on the Fold 3 last year, holding up really well when dumped in the suggested depth, and still functional at twice the depth. You can check out that full video right here. But please, don't try this at home. The Fold 4 also comes with the newer Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the cover screen and rear glass, and Samsung promises increased durability on the inside screen. And if you're interested in using a stylus with that internal screen, you will need to get that special S Pen, specifically made for the Fold series, that will cost extra, of course. This lets you take notes, draw, hover, and magnify across screens while in Flex Mode. The S Pen also has a bit of give to ensure your screen doesn't get damaged, even if you're pushing a bit too hard. And if you're an Insta-queen like me, both the Fold 3 and 4 come with plenty of camera options. The front cover camera on the Fold 3 and 4 are both 10 megapixels and an aperture of f2.2, but the real goods are on the back, both featuring a triple camera, including an ultra-wide, wide angle, and a telephoto, all at 12 megapixels on the Fold 3. The Fold 4 sees an upgrade with its wide-angle camera moving up to 50 megapixels, being on par with the S22 and S22 Plus. But surprisingly, the Fold 4 receives a downgrade on its telephoto camera by 2 megapixels. You'll also be able to get closer to your subject on the newer phone with 3 times optical and up to 30 times total zoom. And while the improvement is a welcome addition, the award for monster camera specs on a Galaxy still goes to the S22 Ultra, offering a 108 megapixel sensor. But what separates the Folds compared to the other Samsung phones are its under-display cameras, which is a camera that hides under, you guessed it, the display. As opposed to having a notch and reducing the amount of screen space, the camera tries its best to blend into the background, where Samsung says the version on the Fold 4 should blend better into the display and should be less noticeable compared to the Fold 3s. For videos, both the Fold 3 and 4 can shoot up to 4K in both 30 and 60 frames per second and can do the same in 1080p. Having to supply two screens puts a major toll on the Fold's batteries. The Z Fold 3's battery capacity is 4,400 mAh, and based on my colleague Patrick Holland's review, which you can watch right here, he only averages about 3.5 hours of screen on time, which will likely not last you a whole day on one charge. The Z Fold 4 has the same capacity battery as the older phone, but stay tuned for a full review to find out if the battery life improves. Samsung claims the Fold 4 can charge 50% in just 30 minutes, which is an improvement over the Fold 3. Even more, the charging speeds aren't nearly as fast compared to the other Samsung phones, only allowing a rate of 25 watts compared to the 45 watts that the S22 Plus and Ultra allow. The Z Fold 3 comes in 3 different colors, in silver, green, and black. None of the colors are really eye-grabbing like on the Z Flip 4, but the variety of choices is nice. While the Z Fold 4 comes in phantom black, gray-green, beige, and a Samsung.com exclusive burgundy. Congrats, you made it to the end. I'm so proud of you. So, you met the latest in the Z Fold family and the differences between the two. And while that's just the specs, we'll have more hands-on impressions in the near future. So make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to CNET for more. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, as well as which phone you're planning on picking up down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go try and beat my old Snake record. 11-year-old Jeremy has no chance on me. Nope. Ooh.